We started by having a media launch for the month. We accepted the offer from Richmond, and it turned out to be also a great event. It's a different kind of setting, and it's all about inclusiveness.
Vancouver Asian Heritage Month Society is a non-profit organization committed to promoting intercultural understanding. Our vision is to build a community where arts, cultures, and other contributions are lived, shared, and celebrated as a cohesive part of the harmonious diversity of Canada.
君不見黃河之水天上來，奔流到海不復。
The Vancouver Asian Heritage Month Society can do well is to build a platform so that the artists coming from the Pan-Asian community, no matter how big or how small their own group is, they have a chance to reach out to all other Canadians.
Welcome to the official launch of the Vancouver Asian Heritage Month 2013.
We decided we want to kick off the month, kick off the festival in Chinatown, where it all started some 20 years ago. We had two special locations. One is the museum, the CCC, Chinese Cultural Center Museum, and we had the official opening there.
What a glorious day in May 2013 to celebrate Asian Heritage Month.
Vancouver Asian Heritage Month festival called Exploration Asian is unique that we try to celebrate the intercultural events and co-promoting each other, and we celebrate the diversity rather than just multiculturalism.
Yeah, multiculturalism means celebrating different cultures together, just having respect for each other, learning, creating awareness. So when we learn from other cultures, definitely there is a uniqueness, so that's multiculturalism.
After the opening, we chose to have a salon in Jane's Tea House. And Jane came from China, and she, being very enterprising, started her little tea shop and arts and craft shop in Chinatown, right on Panda Street. So we thought, well, maybe we can start to draw some attention, and that is why we asked her to host a salon there where people can do poetry reading, storytelling, and music, and so on. And that turned out to be a great afternoon.
Angels keep watch. Crystalline thoughts of changing sights and sounds.
In Chinatown, there are lots of hidden stories. There are lots of historically significant sites. And we engage a historian who is also a professional tour guide. And his name is Bob Sung. We asked him to provide two guided tours up and down Panda Street.
We were at Ten Ren's Tea Store, and Ten Ren's is a chain of tea shops throughout the world, originating from Taiwan, Taipei, Taiwan.
We want to start cultural tours, an afternoon exploring, discovering, reflecting on the stories that many of us do not know. Sometimes it's visual art, sometimes it's music, sometimes it's dance. So this is the idea that we try to illustrate through the programming side. And partnering up with the Vancouver Opera this year is a good example.
the sun.
For the first time, they have actually chosen someone from a Chinese background, the composer Tan Dun, chosen his work Tea, Mirror of Soul, to be produced in May. So I thought that would be perfect. And so I discussed with them, and then they came on board, and those 4 productions became part of our festival.
Tan Dun is a brilliant composer, and he's a very bright man in getting his work disseminated around the world. And of course, we know his popularity with Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, and how popular he's been. And it's this combination of Western and Eastern, if you will, that is so mesmerizing in the orchestra. The combination of Western instruments and traditional Chinese sounds of rock, paper, water. So pleased when Winnie and troops were ahead of us a little bit and came to us before we thought to come to them, and got this ball rolling good and early so that we could have a meaningful partnership. They were very helpful in helping us think through things we could do in the lobby to make the evening a little more special. We were delighted to be a signature event, and therefore some people who'd never been to the opera before came to the opera, and we're just very, very grateful for their outreach to us and the partnership that developed.
The migration dialogue, there were about 90 to 100 people from very diverse backgrounds. They heard me speak at Pechacucha back in February, and they wanted me to be one of their speakers. So they approached me, and that is when I realized that it actually fit into our program this year, because the theme is the connection, the interconnectedness.
I want to pay tribute to all our ancestors and predecessors who made it possible for us to have a better society, a better country.
They have identified 3 keynote speakers. I was only one of them. And these are, it turned out that all 3 of us are women. And we share our own migration story, the stories in our family or our own immediate story of coming to Canada.
So lucky to be accepted as a landed immigrant to Canada.
Then they facilitated dialogues with smaller groups. Then they came back and they share in a larger group.
You can gain local experience by volunteering in different organizations.
And the connections between people were so clear. Even among the 3 speakers, we didn't know each other before, and we found out there's a lot of commonalities. They have been performing every year, and this is the 17th annual festival. Early years, I think they focus on just sharing the traditional heritage from Korea in the dance form.
also like to take this opportunity to thank the Vancouver Asian Heritage Month Society, VAMS, for all their hard work and effort in coordinating this event.
Thank you, Michael and Winnie, for all the support you've given us, which contributed to the success of our Generation 1 exhibition.
We also discovered among our own directors, not just the visual artists, some of the directors, they are singers, performers in different ways. Our advisor, who was a past president, Jen Walls, gave a clapper song, that's a traditional Chinese art form. He wrote a song in particularly for that occasion.
爷爷捋着胡子笑，他笑得满脸净线条儿。奶奶拍着大腿笑，笑得眼泪往下掉。
Our collaboration, I think, dated all the way back to the year 2000. I think the society itself is the hub of everything that is associated with Asian Canadians. So it's a very good but natural choice.
Director Esme McLaren, she comes from, or her family, so talented. They offered to sing.
Vancouver Asian Heritage Month Society provides an opportunity to connect people of varied cultures, young and old. As I participate, I learn more about myself and new skills that help better understand and connect people.
I find that we're exposed to a lot of different art areas, a lot of different media areas that I think are of interest to the general community.
When I started out, it was really providing a platform for the showcasing of Canadian Asian arts and culture, which was really, very much in the background of Canadian society. But now, 17 years later, there are many of the Pan-Asian communities are doing their own thing, having their own festivals, and that's wonderful to see.
I've been an amateur Chinese calligrapher for the past 15, 16 years. Artwork behind me is my work. It's basically ancient Chinese text that talks about how Chinese words were developed. Reason why I want to take part and be an active member of this exhibition is to help promote the wonderful Chinese culture.
This is the third year I'm being a program coordinator. And my brother John, he's the board director, so he gave a lot of support for us.
Before I was recruited into the Vancouver Asian Heritage Month Society, I did not know that May is actually the Asian Heritage Month. The Vancouver Asian Heritage Month Society has been started since 1996 to promote arts, cultures.
My art is called suspended animation, and it has a lot to do with a personal growth where starting a family, I'm a new mom, so I have no time that I want to express myself in a state where I am almost doing bad art, but trying to make it.
Bhangra is a peasant dance, or the way of celebrating harvest in Punjab.
I started with the Vancouver International Bhangra celebration about 2 years ago, but I know that Explorasia has been a partner with Vancouver International Bhangra celebration for a long time. So what what we do is we get Explorasia to end their festival in the beginning of our festival.
They love the way we were able to bring diverse audience to the event. And so ever since then, we have collaborated. They saw the importance of making the connection, and they encouraged the cross-pollination of musicians from different cultural backgrounds.
Welcome to the Asian Heritage Month Gala Recognition Dinner.
Ladies and gentlemen, there is our silent auction table in the very back. Take a look at some of the items there.
My name's Margaret Gallagher. I'm from CBC Radio, and I have the pleasure of co-hosting with Bob Sung. It is a real honor to be here with all of you this evening, and in particular to honor Charlie Smith and Scott McIntyre for their contributions to Asian Heritage Month.
On behalf of the first wave of settlers who crossed the Pacific Ocean to find new home for their descendants, and subsequent wave of migrants who found safe harbors and safe welcoming neighbors in this great land. And on behalf of all of us who enjoy the privilege of living in one of the most harmonious and diverse communities in the world, I'd like to thank each one of you for coming out tonight to support a great organization. There's one incredible lady in our organization that really went out of her way, even sacrificing time and title and money and everything, and social network. And that's Miss Winnie Chung over there. And your team, organizing team for tonight. Would you mind standing up?
Now, one of them is kind of dorky, but that's only according to Corky. He's a ball of fire, a real live wire. His reputation just couldn't be higher, and I'm speaking, of course, of Scott McIntyre.
Thank you to the organizers, thank you to the jury for having done this. I'm enormously proud of what we did, and I think we made a difference to this place. I've always said what we wanted to do was take this place, give shape to its creative imagination, and give it to the world, not here, but to Canada, and increasingly internationally. And I am enormously proud of that, and I think we did our bit.
I was remiss to mention that there was a caricature of Scott drawn by David Wong. So thank you very much, David.
We're honoring two tonight. Oh, yes, and our second honoree is from the press. He's young, but already a monolith. In every sense, he's a real wordsmith. Sorry, Charlie. His columns dispel many a myth. His words are all pared down to pith. No, I'm not speaking with a lisp. He's one you just don't want to mess with. Of course, we're talking about Charlie Smith.
Come on down, Charlie Smith.
Come on down, Charlie.
Well, this is just amazing, and to be honored on a night with a giant like Scott McIntyre. And I want to thank the Vancouver Asian Heritage Month Society. An award like this is actually a reflection of a lot of people.
Unlike 20 years ago, now we have a lot of groups doing their own thing very well. What they need is, you have the Taiwanese doing their own things. You have the Vietnamese doing their own thing, but they do not have a place where they can all come together. In the future, when people talk about Canadians, they're not looking at what you look like, what your color, your skin color, or your cultural background, but that people naturally take it that you can be from anywhere in the world, but if you are a good citizen, then you are Canadian.